The changing landscape of the housing market in Las Vegas requires a real estate professional that understands how to get your offer accepted, willing to go above and beyond for service and accountability. Hi, my name is Dan French. I've been in the real estate and financing industry for over 13 years. Most real estate agents struggle with answering their phone. Please call me directly, 702-557-6176. I'm available for all your real estate needs.
Dan's a fantastic man. He really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
And what's going on, everybody? It's Dan French here. You know, it's Saturday, so that means it's a French Workbench podcast. We got a full studio of people in today. You guys know the channel. It's the most real and behind-the-scenes information on financing, real estate, money talk, entrepreneurs going on here in Las Vegas. I'm your host, Dan French, streaming live. We have a lot of great information. We're going to talk about Roe versus Wade today. No, I'm just wow.
That got real close.
No, I'm just joking, man. We're going to talk about housing market.
Where's that kill switch?
Wow.
Turn my mic on.
Yeah, so what's going on with you guys? So, Brett, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm loving the vibes today, man.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, turn the music down a little.
I am. I want to overpower you.
No, vibes are well today, man. I mean, it's going well. Saturday morning, weather's beautiful. I went for a run, and I got a good wish come true this week. So
what's that, man? What happened?
I was given authorization for the cryptocurrency council that I wanted to form with the Realtors Association, and they asked me to be the chair of that. I said, well, of course. That'd probably be a good thing since I came up with the idea of it. But anyways, we have our first meeting June 6th. And
nice.
We will be the first Realtors Association in the entire world to have this.
So let me ask you a question. Huh? Like, how did you get on this thing? I mean, were you petitioning for this? I mean, what was going on with that?
I just hit up the president of the association and said, hey, here's my qualifications. Here's what I know. I know a lot of people that are looking to do this. I think it's a department that you guys could be one of the forefront people in the world to do this. And Las Vegas has always been progressive. Las Vegas has never been afraid to take chances. So what we could do now is lay out basically the groundwork and the blueprint for something that we could take and show every other association on what to do as well. And we'd be the forefront of that. So, I mean, I just basically we're persistent. I've hit up people left and right with something with cryptocurrency for 5 years.
Yeah.
And gotten a lot of no's. And I finally got a yes. So
nice.
Awesome. None of the no's matter though when you know you're right.
Nice.
So
dude, so you've been out doing your deal right on real estate, huh? You've been out going and just showing houses. I mean, you got a lot
showing homes, going to a lot of home builders. I have a bunch of showings today and tomorrow, but you know this, Dan, man, the market in this last 30 days has really taken a switch. And here's what I want to say to everybody, which is I've been talking.
Hold on. We got to hold off, man. We got to give them. You can't just give it all up front, man. They're not going to wait around. They're going to be like, dude, I got my info. I'm out of here.
We got Mr. Content Creator over here. He's eyeing me down like.
Brett was about to go into a 30-minute spiel over here.
I was about ready to give up the goods on the first date.
We also got Doug Liebig. He's Las Vegas Home Inspections. What's going on, Doug?
Same thing, man. Busy week. Staying busy, and same old thing though.
Same old thing, huh?
Yep. It's
anything new happening in your world? Like anything that's changed? Is it an exciting world?
It's always exciting. There's always something around.
Have
the
you
corner.
been living the dream?
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah. Been doing good. You were on here last week, man. I appreciate you had a lot of good insight. I want to keep you on. So, by the way, Mr. Brett over here and also Doug are my co-hosts, so they're going to be here every Saturday. I also want to bring on our guest, and yes, we have a guest this week, and he's Ethan Earhart, AEY Marketing. What's going on?
Another wonderful Saturday, guys. Thank you so much for having me here.
Dude, Ethan, so what's going on, man? So tell us a little bit about what you do.
All right. Well, I'm a Marine. I'm a father. Most people recently found out I'm a former major international arms dealer. I just got home in August. I just got out of federal prison after doing a long stint. huge in marketing.
He's a great marketer, though.
Yeah, I can definitely get your products into countries anywhere around the world, apparently. So
Nice, man. That's
And
cool.
if you take him seriously, then you deserve to be taken for a ride.
yeah, I finished a marketing book. It'll be out in a couple months. And I've actually worked on a couple brand new businesses. Launched a new dog treat company. It's coming out. And,
Nice, really.
yeah, it's crazy. I got involved in this all natural dog treat company called Dee Dee's Treats, and they brought me on as 15% owner, and I run their entire marketing department.
That's
Nice,
awesome, man.
And
So-
then yesterday, the guys from Pfizer gave me a call. They have this thing called Health Helper. It's a mosquito bite thing. It's non-invasive, no chemicals, nothing like that. So they're
Yeah.
bringing me on to run their marketing for their new device.
Pfizer,
coming out.
man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
since we're talking about that, what are some of the people that you have for clientele that you've worked with?
Well, I come from the celebrity side of things. I was a celebrity bodyguard for about 8 years. So,
Wow.
No kidding.
yeah, right after the Marine Corps.
That's even funnier now that one inspector messed with you, knowing that. Like, of all people, you
That
picked
makes
a
the story a
wrong
little
dude.
bit better. Yeah, right.
Listen,
Sorry, go
full
ahead.
disclosure, I don't go around starting fights with people.
Yeah, I know, but
don't-
that's just ironic. That's what he
Yeah.
gets, anyways.
Well,
Nice.
I've worked with people like J-Lo, Lady
Cool.
Gaga, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne. I've worked with a ton of people. I mean, even Steven Seagal.
So what does that entail, man? Is it like a very demanding, or is it like 99% chill, but you're always on the lookout in that 1%? Right?
Doing counterintelligence, counter surveillance is just something that comes second nature to me. So
Okay.
while I'm around them, I'm usually paying attention to what they're doing, but doing my job. So, I mean, think about this. For instance, when you're working with celebrities, I don't know if you ever have, or most people try to just get autographs, right?
Yeah.
So the level of difficulty just to get an autograph from a celebrity,
just to get access to them.
exactly,
Yeah,
is
basic
entirely
access.
different. And I'm getting passed around like, yesterday's, next cool thing, going from celebrity to celebrity, working for them, protecting their life. So while I'm doing this, I get to sit in on business meetings and things like that.
So are you that initial barrier they need to cross for them to talk to the celebrity or get the autograph? Or
I'm usually the guy that wasn't just plain clothes I used to carry. I
You're-
kind of blended
You're
in with
just
them.
chilling in the background,
Yeah.
and they don't know you're there unless
I'm
they
just
need
there.
to.
They're like, who's this guy? And they're like, oh, he's just there. So I usually just look and see what's going on, to let them know ahead of
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
hey, things could potentially be going bad. We need to get out of here and make other moves. But a lot of the times I'm with them on personal stuff, private stuff. I got to sit in on a lot of business meetings. So I picked up a lot of stuff and really was able to transition that into marketing
Okay.
and doing what I do.
Cool.
So let's talk a little bit. I think what a lot of people want to know is really what you think about, and how did you get to Las Vegas? Let's start with there, because I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, people transition. I think they do understand, but a lot of people transition. So did you grow up in Vegas, or did you?
Yeah, I was actually born here. Born and raised. My father was a sheriff here in the 60s.
No kidding.
Great uncle put tons of money into building the Flamingo.
Wow.
So I
So you got roots, man.
yeah, something like that.
So you said your uncle was the sheriff here, or worked for the
No,
sheriff?
my father
Your father did?
worked for Ralph Lamb. My father was
So he might have encountered a few mobsters, or
yeah, something like that. I've
Right?
heard lots of stories growing
Oh,
up.
I bet you did, man.
So it's a little different for me. So going back into the whole marketing scene, being from Vegas, that's why I do what I do, is to give
Okay.
back to my city. But growing up here, I've seen all the sides of this city that most people will never see. I've seen the development, the growth, the change between
have,
the
yeah.
people moving here
Yeah.
from everywhere in the world to people who are from here moving everywhere else.
So it's just completely different city, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, just completely different.
there's
I mean,
no place like it in the world.
Yeah.
No place. But
Yeah.
again, everyone in the world knows
yeah.
Las Vegas.
And that's the thing, right? Is that there's no other place like it in the world, but it's a completely different city
Yeah.
than when you were a kid. But yet it's still that mystique of there's no other place like Las Vegas in the world.
No other place. I mean, when you're 15 years old and you're running the strip, and
Dude, I
back when
couldn't-
we had change we could put in the machines, we would try to sneak into the
I
casinos.
tell people, I'm like, dude, thank God I grew up in a small town, because if I grew up in Vegas, I'd have,
So
You
what's
would have been in trouble. You would have been in trouble.
maybe a few things,
Man,
man.
we were in trouble every day. I
Right?
can't tell you how many times we ran from the cops
Oh,
growing up here.
My dad was so-and-so.
So what do you think's so different about Vegas? Like, when people say, "Hey, should I move here?" Because there's some people that think maybe that you got to live in a certain area. I think family's important. I think raising your kids in a good environment's important.
Yeah, I raised my son here. My son actually just turned 21 about a week and a half ago. I raised my son here. Yeah, for a long time by myself.
You make me feel really old, man.
Yeah, man, I just turned 39.
Tell me about it.
It's trust me, I get it. Raising children here, family is an entirely different thing. This isn't your suburban, Midwestern place. It's not that kind of place. It's definitely a level of there's a level of danger somewhat in this city that most cities don't have.
Kids grow up here quick.
Yeah,
that's what I always say.
And they put their parents to the test.
Yes, kids grow up here quicker.
There's not much there's not much to do here. Yeah. So when it comes to family, I would not recommend raising a family here. Never.
Really?
Even though I did it, it would not. Even though I was raised here.
Like I got my sister has a family. They go to church. They can separate.
Your
that
sister
stuff.
lives here too.
My whole family lives here.
It's how you do it.
Exactly.
For the average person, I tell them when people are like, "Oh, I'm moving to Vegas," I go, "You know what? It's going to do two things. Either you're going to make it, or it's going to eat you alive."
Yep.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about that, man.
I know a lot of people who moved here.
Yeah.
They went to go work on the Strip, and after a couple of years, they've lost everything.
Yeah,
they've had.
same thing. I met a few people where it's like.
It's bad.
They let this town get to them because this town is set up for self-destruction on a massive level. If you want, if you want it to
like
be
quicksand.
Yeah.
I
mean, you can really do some damage quickly here.
Yeah, yeah. Or on the other hand,
it's got a lot to offer though.
Yeah,
too.
but absolutely.
We've been here almost 30 years.
Same thing with opportunities. Like remember earlier this week when we were kind of having, we were down and out or whatever, having a bad conversation, just not in the best moods. And you said, how do you keep so positive, Brett? And I said, because I live in Las Vegas and every day is a new day here, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. If you're in business, this is a good city to make money in.
Absolutely.
Honestly, had I not lived here, been from here, I probably would not have become a government contractor and developed the weapons that I developed to the government. I would not have had those opportunities had I not been here in the city. And as far as the marketing, there's no way that I'd be able to do what I do in another city. Because I don't do marketing like anyone else. Yeah. And people are constantly giving me credit for it.
What's your style of marketing? Like if you
I'm real brash.
You're real brash.
I put stuff out there that people go, how did you do that? And I'm like, what do you mean how? They're like, no other company will do this. Like this is not
is it like you're getting to that line and you just don't cross it, but it's still
sometimes I do cross it.
You do cross
it?
No,
absolutely. I did a video that got over 150,000 views in a couple of days for Harry's, the razor company. And it ultimately said, if you don't buy from Harry's, I'll find you and I'll fucking kill you. And that was the tagline. So they saw that, they reposted it, and now I'm getting free razors and I've got an affiliate program with Harry's. That's the kind of marketing I do. That's why people come to me. I've got a reach of over 5 million people.
Well, it works.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, is I was thinking about that earlier today. People don't want, like, if you just go on there and say, oh, here's a home tour.
No, I don't want that.
Dude, people want some funny shit. Like, if you go to these Instagram accounts of these realtors, they have
real.
40, 50. Dude, it's funny as hell. They're like, one guy standing there, he's like, when you're at a home inspection, the buyer shows up with their mom. Hey, mom, shut the
Yeah.
But that's what people love, man. The guys,
Absolutely. You have to have a gimmick.
Yeah.
And knowing that gimmick, especially in real estate, you've got to put it out there. It's like when you watch those stupid shows like Selling Sunset and shit like that. They all have a gimmick. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is people make fun of that. But I'm not a realtor myself. But when as a consumer, when I see that, I go, okay, that makes that person stand out.
Dude, it's funny to make fun of realtors because we're funny. Yeah. I mean, dude, we're so...
Yeah,
in so many different ways.
I gotta bring something up.
Dude, we have so much.
Go for it.
Comedy to be made fun of.
Veristar made a comment right now, and I think it's right on. I mean, you got the background combat. That Vin Diesel. So you can be related, right? That's what he said.
I used to get that a lot, and I'm like, I'm a little bit taller. I'm not quite the same weight.
No, but you got that same, hey man, I'm gonna mess you up if you mess with me, right?
Well, and that's how I handle my marketing. I mean, that's how I deliver shit. I don't play around. People go, oh, you don't seem very corporate, and I'm like, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't think you're gonna fit well with our company. We're gonna pass. I'm like, that's great. You think I won't have another client?
Yeah.
Like I get plenty of people.
Well, you're good at what you do, so you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. Either I'm your style or I'm not your style. I'm not here to.
And that's the thing. People get real nervous when it comes to their business. And I don't care what you do for business, whether it's real estate or you mow someone's yard. The whole point of your business is to be seen.
Yeah.
If you're not being seen, you're not making money.
And let's face it, it's not about your business, it's about branding you.
Exactly.
And that's...
And people got to take their personal feelings out of shit. And
absolutely.
I go, listen, do you want to make money or do you want to feel something?
Yeah.
And they go, well, you have other competitors. And I heard the greatest line ever the other day, and I agree with it. If my competitor is drowning, I'm going to walk up and shove a hose in their mouth. I'm going to make sure they drown. I am not going to help anyone.
Yeah.
I'm here to make money, and I'm here to make you money, because the more you make, the more I'm going to make in the long run. So whatever it is you do, I know how to find your demographic.
Yeah.
That is the difference between me and everyone out there.
It's real simple, man. Do you want to make more money or not? Either more money's made.
People question that though a lot. And I'll come to them and I'll say, hey, this is, and they're like, well, I'm paying $100 a day for Facebook ads and this, that, and the other. And I go, well, you happy with your results? And they're like, I'm getting a lot of dead leads. I go, how about we skip the dead leads? And they're like, what do you mean?
Yeah, if you want to be a telemarketer and call your Google leads, go for it, man.
I'm like, I'll do it for a flat rate, about a third of what you're paying a month. And I guarantee you, I'm only going to go to people who are interested in what you do. And then they go, well, how do you do this? And I go, it's the way I do it.
Yeah.
You focus on your business, and I'll focus on getting you the clients and the customers.
How do you do that? That's why you pay me.
Exactly.
So I just want to say this. You brought up about celebrities.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that lifestyle.
Absolutely. What do you
just
got?
a little bit, and we'll go back into. So, you lived and worked. I guess as what were you doing? You were security for them.
I was. What people would title it as a celebrity bodyguard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is what does your day look like when you're working with somebody like that?
Man, it can be 18, 20-hour days. Like, for instance, if I'm with like Mayweather or somebody like that, or someone on that level, you don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't shit, you don't piss until they do. And then when they do, you've got to get permission to, regardless of what your situation is. So there are several days where your job is to be there, and you're of no concern to anyone else because everyone else is your concern.
Yeah.
Right. So you're basically like
you're there for them.
Yeah, you're like a human camera carrying a gun. They don't think that you eat, shit, sleep. They don't think that you do any of that stuff. You're this invincible person that is going to take a bullet potentially for someone.
Yeah.
And after doing that for several years, I mean, I've never had a single incident where anything bad has ever happened. I've never even had to draw my weapon while I worked with anybody. So I would say that what I did was very good. But my day-to-day was fantastic. Sometimes they would invite me in to sit down and say, hey, grab a bite with us. Have a meal with us. And I'm like, you're kidding?
So
and
I'm
they're
sure
like, no.
you have a whole list that are on the cool list.
Yeah.
And the not so cool list.
Well,
and you don't need to say names, but
no, I definitely have some people I would not work for ever again. One of them is in the music industry, and one of them is in a lot of movies to this day.
Yeah.
One is a man and one is a woman.
Yeah.
And they act like giant children. So everyone else I've worked with has been great. People like you're familiar with Victor Ortiz, the boxer?
Yeah.
So we text like every other day. Like, we're sharing pictures of our kids and family and stuff, and we talk about different things like that. And he was in the movie Southpaw and Expendables and stuff like that. So some of these guys I've worked with, great people, wonderful people. And some of them, it's really funny because after I got arrested and went to federal prison for being an international arms dealer, I was able to get a cell phone in my cell. And I actually reached out to some of these celebrities that I'd worked with. And I said, hey, I'm coming out to do marketing full time. Do you guys have my back? And they're like, listen, we understand what happened. We know you're a good dude. We still have you. Don't worry. And so they're like, you can still use us. If you need referrals, if you need this, you need support, we still got you. So I was surprised to actually find out that a lot of these big people that most people don't know, but they're fans of, don't know how they really are. And a lot of these people are amazing. And the fact that they've been there for me through stuff like that, where most people would just bail on you, it says something.
Well, the old saying is, when people find success, they just become more of who they already are. Do you find that to be true?
Absolutely. I think so.
Right? If you're an asshole before, you're just going to be a bigger asshole afterwards.
Absolutely.
If you're humble, you're just going to even be more humble.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's true. I get this question a lot. They say, how are these celebrities in person? And I'm like, what do you mean in person? They say, well, we see them on this grand scale as a fan. How are they when you're with them?
Are they really like that, or is that just a persona?
Sometimes it's a persona. Sometimes they do it just to get attention.
I bet it is, man. And yeah.
But when you're sitting in a private room, like when I was with J-Lo, I was in a private room with her when she signed a deal with Verizon Wireless. Some people may not know this, but she has her own cell phone company. It was just me, her, a couple of private media people, and she is.
I'd have my attorney there too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's right. Before
I got to go through business stuff that most people will never learn or see in a book, in class.
Yeah,
in school,
what's that
nothing.
like to see that wording on there? Like, I was watching Full Send podcast a couple weeks ago, and they had Joe Burrow, the quarterback, on there.
Yeah,
and he was the first pick of the draft, and he got a $24.6 million signing bonus. And they're like, so what's that like? They just wire that? And he goes, yeah. And literally, you wake up in the morning and there's a wire of $26 million just sitting in your account.
Yeah, but what most people don't know
Like,
is what goes on behind that. You know, they might have started
Crazy.
with a lower number. Like when I go into business
Yeah,
meetings
but-
and I see some of these celebrities, you'd think, oh, they're just going to pay this person X amount of dollars. No, that person will go in and have demands and say, no, you're going to do this because I'm going to do this. You came
Yeah.
to me specifically, for instance, and this is where I learned to do what I do.
Like a writer list.
Yeah, when people come to me, they go, hey, well, I can pay this other company $500 a month to go do that. And I say, well, that's great. Then go do it.
Yeah.
But you're going to be calling me in a couple weeks
Yep.
because you're not going to be happy. So, and I learned a lot of what I do from being in these meetings firsthand. So when it comes to business, I applied all of that.
You got to
my
see what the
personal life.
real business was happening behind the closed doors.
Yeah.
Like not just here's show and here's me signing this.
Exactly.
You got to see what went into
the
making that happen.
negotiations. Yeah, and that's
Gotcha.
tough. That's tough sometimes. People
Yeah.
will not bend, and sometimes people will get these ideas and say, "Oh, you should give, you should take, you should give, you should take." Well, no,
Everyone has
that's
their
not
own-
true.
yeah.
If you're solid and you believe in what you do, do not bend, do not fold, do not break. Screw them. If they're going to go somewhere else, fuck them. Let them go somewhere
Yeah.
else. Guess what? You're going to have the next client that you're going to help even better.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I do what I do. And my book, my marketing book is actually titled Fucking Marketing. That's the name of it. And I break down everything.
You know what? My new book, fucking real estate.
Yeah.
Buy that shit.
And I break down some stuff that you'll never see in another book. How I made my first money when I was 11 years old up until today, and how being the best at marketing.
You're a natural
actually
hustler,
landed
man.
me.
You know what makes people tick. You know what makes
Yeah.
people pay attention to you. You know what
Yeah.
brings eyes on things. Absolutely.
Some people question it. They go, "Man, but you went to federal prison," and I go, "Yeah, that's because that's how serious I'm about my shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't play. Like I will take shit to the end. When you wake up in the morning and your home is surrounded by 50 armed federal agents with guns pointed at you, that's when you know you've made it.
They didn't want to. They didn't want to drink Pepsi and eat popcorn.
As long as you're able to make it out of the house.
Yeah, right. So and that's
That
what I
must have
love
been a
about
nice
it.
feeling.
Yeah. I love it. I wasn't worried. I was like, all this for me. This is great.
Wow, thanks, boys.
Yeah, it's amazing when you know you can do something. I mean, and I get into the stuff I do because I always hear so much negativity. I get on Facebook every day and people are like, well, I can't do this. I can't find a job. I can't sell this house.
I know you
I
can't
do
because you
that."
just started with the phrase "I can't."
Exactly.
I mean, think about that, dude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And people go, hey, man, I'm looking for a job. And I go, you know what? I can hire you for my marketing company. And they're like, oh, you know what? I don't think I want. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, I have to work.
excuses, man. Excuses are like
Oh,
assholes.
dude, I know everyone has one.
Yeah, but no one
Absolutely.
wants to admit it. No, you know, it's crazy out there. But the reason I do what I do is because I always see the negativity and oh, there's no jobs on the market. There's no this, there's no that. But how come I can create all these jobs for people? How come I can come along as one person who grew up in East Vegas and take your business and make it incredibly successful? If you allow me, I can make you 2-3 times as much as you're making right now. You just have to take your feelings out of it.
Yeah, I think there's people out there though that need self-leadership, right? A lot of people can't wake up and just say, you know, I have a structure, I can do it on my own. That's why people get coaches in gyms and
I think
you
so.
know,
They
you know, and
don't
that's
wake
kinda what
up
it is.
alpha.
It's not even alpha. I think it's just sacrifice and drive and there's other things and other things that people have to have these things as characteristics.
You have to want
That's
it.
what
You
I'm
gotta
saying.
want it.
If
right?
you don't want it bad enough, it's not going to happen.
That's
I came
alpha,
from
dude.
less than crap. I came from less
Yeah.
than nothing, and
Yeah.
I've wanted everything my whole life.
And you've worked for it.
Oh,
And-
I'll get it one way or another.
Yeah, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
Is to you, no is just no to is like it is to me. It's a dirty word.
yeah.
No just means I'm not asking you properly.
No, it's like when I walk into a room and I see the baddest chick in the room. I'm not going up to the ugliest chick to make her look at me. I'm going right to her.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I'm going to the
Exactly.
baddest one that I know I have zero chance with, and I'm going to pull her.
Yeah.
It's the way it is. I don't
Well,
I don't quit.
I don't
You know,
chase, I just replace.
And I guarantee you, 4 years. Would you do 4, 6 years?
in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years. Yeah, I did 6. And there's something about the Marine Corps. You come out of the Marine Corps and you own it. And that's, you come back into the civilian world, and most people don't
You have that
understand where you're
confidence.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You have that
also,
confidence.
when you've done things that most people have
Nothing's
never
gonna
had the
rattle you, man.
opportunity to
Right.
do,
Right.
When you've done things that most people never get the chance to do
Yeah.
or never have, and people are
Right.
like, "What's combat like?" I'm like, "Do you like people shooting at you?" And they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
when youve been shot,
Well, it was
when you've
the
jumped out of
military.
airplanes,
Yeah.
when you've done stuff that most people will never, ever, ever do, see, or even be able to experience, no matter what kind of setup
Yeah.
thing they have for people to go.
You mean
try.
it's not like the movies?
And I know, right?
On a daily basis, right?
Yeah, on
Like
the daily
Rambo
basis.
stand up there shooting like 60 people all missing them?
Oh yeah, it's
like,
wonderful.
It's like they say, how many people get shit on and hit, or shit on and miss, and shit on and hit. You know?
Yeah.
It's not,
It's
you
like
can't
that's
handle
just-
the truth.
Right,
Like
yeah,
on
right.
that wall? Not
Yeah.
that. Oh, okay.
It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's wonderful though. I love the life I have with all the ups and downs I've ever had.
Yeah.
I would not I don't regret anything. I would not replace anything. I mean, raised my son most of my life. That's the reason I had to get out of the Marine Corps after a few years is I had no one else to raise him.
Yeah.
I put all my effort into that. I put all my effort into my business and everything I do, and I haven't stopped. Even to this day, I have so much more to do, and there's a lot of clients to.
It's
to really
all
work with.
about attitude, man. You wake up and you're like, "What can I've got a lot to contribute to the world, and I know that, so let's do it."
Yeah, oftentimes people call and they're like, "Man, you're out of breath." And I'm like, "Well, I'm working out right now." And they're like, "Oh, I'll call you back." And I'm like, "No, I got you on speaker. Let's keep.
I can do
let's
business
do this.
and work out.
Let's do this.
That's 2 birds with 1 stone, brother.
Oh yeah, and I don't quit.
I do that too.
I don't quit. You can't. You know, if you want it bad
Unless
enough.
I'm running. Yeah.
I mean, like with your guys' show right here, this is a great setup. This is a great thing. You guys are providing a lot of information for people.
I've stuck in a lot of work setting this up. So.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's all.
You know,
Hey, but you know what's great about this is that I've provided, or we've all provided this platform for people like you to come on and express yourself. And I think that's important.
It is.
You know, and like you said, I agree. I mean, that's just something I've always wanted to do, and I get to do it now, and I'm very fortunate and lucky to be able to do it. So people like yourself coming on. So let's talk a little bit about your business. I want to go over here and look at, this is your website here.
Yeah.
And this is your leader in global social media marketing. So
absolutely.
This is you, right? And this is what you're
me.
about, and this is your information on your company. So somebody comes on here, how do they get a hold of you? Obviously, there's
Go to his Instagram page too.
Primarily, it's the Instagram. That website is there just to kill dead space.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one
That's
goes
just
to
to
our
make him look
website.
legit.
Do you have an
Yeah.
Instagram channel?
AEY Marketing Official. If you get right on there.
Marketing Official.
I sent his link, Dan French.
Hold on, let's take a look and see this real quick. So what do you do on your Instagram? Like
He kills it.
What do you do?
Oh,
Like what type of marketing do you do?
I kill. Okay, so here's the thing. People always ask, what's the difference between marketing and this, that, and the other? And they'll ask me all the questions for the things I don't do. They'll say, do you do SEO? Do you do website design? Do you do graphic design? And I say, no. They said, well, then what is marketing? I go, marketing is having your business seen. And they said, well, that's what I do. I pay every day for that. And I go, no. I do something that no one else does. Having it seen is having it viewed by millions and millions of people all around the world.
Yeah.
You know, branding is one thing. You make your logo, you get your content together, you get everything rolling. My job is to make it seen. And people are like, well, I want clients. I want client acquisition. I need this. I need that. I'm paying for leads. I said, stop paying for leads. I make your business seen. The more seen it is, the more customers you're going to get naturally.
So let's say this about Vegas, right?
here, right?
Oh, we got
There
it up.
we go.
Let's take a look at this really quick.
Now-
That's all right.
Yeah, that's the primary marketing page right there.
Nice, man. So let's take a look at this. So you have some people on here that, all the people you just talked about, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's my video right there I did for Harry's. I mean, and those are just some of the top people.
50
I've worked
Cent
with.
right there?
That's
50 Cent,
That's
yes, sir.
50. Look at that eyebrow raise,
50.
man. That's like, I don't know what to think of this. Right? That's a good eyebrow raise,
That is,
man.
that's a great shot.
Is that Lil Wayne?
That is Lil Wayne.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to name any names, but there's some people in the music industry that you just mentioned that I probably would not go back to work for.
You know, everybody says, and I don't want to like, but
Okay.
what about like, we've heard the stories, right? That-
Yeah.
I'm not going to say names, but we'll say this one name. Steven Seagal. Was he cool?
Yo.
Okay, so when
I saw
was with-
YouTube. He's the real deal, dude.
When I was with Steven Seagal, I was with his family. And
Dude,
he's crazy. He was still like messing with us. I'm with him like the whole time, and he wants to show me like all these cool hand locks and
Dude,
wrist- and I'm
he's like legit though
Yeah.
with what he knows, dude.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, hang out with your family. I'm just here for you, man. He's like, no. He's like, let me show you
Yeah,
this.
dude,
And,
yeah.
and I'm like, I don't really want you to show me anything, but that's cool. Like, I'm just here to like hang out with your people, do your thing. I don't even exist.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
watched a
next to
YouTube
you.
video on him, and they're even asking his bodyguard, who's like training or whatever. They're like, "Yeah, but he's kind of fat now." And then the bodyguard's
Yeah.
like, "Dude, I'm telling you,
He's still quick. He can
still
move.
like."
Yeah, but
because
he looks like he's out of shape. Though. I'm not
He
trying
is,
to be
but
rude, but I
dude,
mean, just
it
like,
doesn't matter.
physically,
I mean-
compared to what he was.
Well, hold on. Round is still a shape. So he's
I mean, you know that, Dan.
he's quick. I've never seen someone like that quick. I mean, the guy can still move.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he's fat if you can't stop his moves.
yeah.
He'll kill you 3-finger tap right in your heart.
The guy is amazing, though. I mean, he was one of the funniest people I hung out with.
Because when you're doing like karate and stuff like that, I mean, what is his style of karate that he does? Do you know?
What is it? He does Aikido, and I think
I think it's called kick-ass judo,
yeah,
jiu-jitsu or something.
He does a combination of a couple things.
Does he?
Yeah, so he's perfected what he's done, I guess, over the years. I don't know a ton about him, except for all the movies we've all seen.
So, dude, he taught a special kind of, I think, jiu-jitsu in China.
Yeah.
Back before he did all these movies and had a movie career. And he was the only white person to open this style of jiu-jitsu in China. And all these other masters of these studios.
Why does it got to be white?
Well,
That's
I'm
what
just
he said.
joking. It's a joke.
I'm going from the. You're racist. So anyways, all these other masters of the same kind of jiu-jitsu school got pissed off because here's this foreigner that's opening up this whatever it is. So they all publicly challenged him. And he said, so he replied back to all the masters and said, okay, you want to challenge me to death? Cool. So here's what we do. No money involved, no papers, no media. You and me meet secretly in an undisclosed location. And just you and me, no one else, and whoever walks away, and whoever doesn't. He said none of them took him up on it.
Yeah, that guy is awesome. I mean, him and amongst some of the other people, like I said, that's just some of the top people I've worked with right there and been fortunate enough to be around.
Man.
But
Tyra Banks?
Yeah, she's funny.
Is she?
She was a wonderful person.
Because she kind of gets an attitude, reputation sometimes.
Yeah, and I've heard that. But when I was around her, I didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
She was being
Carrot Top?
incredibly open. Carrot Top was a little interesting.
He's jacked, dude.
He's a little, and he's definitely an outside of the box thinker.
Yeah, because he's on roids.
I think he used to be. I don't know.
So you've had obviously worked with all these people. What about is that Dennis Rodman? You worked with him, huh?
Yeah, funny story. I actually babysat his kids when I was in high school.
What?
So, yeah, one of the first jobs. Well, not first jobs I had, but one of the jobs I had.
The Dice Man.
Yeah, so I've just been fortunate enough to be around some of these
That's
people
cool,
growing
man.
up. Yeah, it's been an interesting
the
ride.
Dice Man,
Dude, the Dice.
Is that how you grew up? You watching the Dice Man?
Absolutely.
That's where he gets all his material.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
What's the rest, Brett?
Eating a Curzon Way.
So let's talk a little bit about your business. I'll go back to that part of it. So in Las Vegas, I think it's challenging to start a marketing business anywhere. But in Vegas, doesn't it seem like a lot of these businesses, it's very competitive here. It seems like everybody that comes to Las Vegas, they're looking to start over or start new. Yeah. And I just feel that there's a lot of people thinking this is my second chance. And you know what? There is.
It is. Well, it's Dan, right?
Dan, yeah.
Dan, I don't have any competitors.
Yeah.
I don't have not one. I've had agencies call me and say, hey, we would like to hire you because of my client list. We want to bring you on and we want to change the way you do stuff. And I hang up on them.
Really?
I don't need that. I don't need another company to help me. I have a potential interview coming up with the Rolling Stone magazine based on my background. I've done another major interview a few weeks ago. So I'm doing things on my own. I don't need another marketing agency. I'm doing things that other marketing companies are not doing. I mean, every single account, let's put it this way. I don't care if you're a mom and pop business or you're a top celebrity.
Right.
I handle every single person's account the exact same way.
How do you solidify the relationship with somebody? Because look, everybody goes out there and says, well, there's a lot of people. I get people calling me
Dude, I'll tell you right now.
Hold on. I get people calling me every single day about marketing this or buying into this or doing something. So like what separates you from the rest? I understand you have the drive and the ability
What separates me
Yeah.
is that the biggest people on the planet trust me with their lives.
There you go.
Those people trust me. I'm coming over. I'm saying, and people will ask, they go, well, why do you want to work with me? And I go, because I can, because I have the ability to not be a dick and just keep my circle that tight. I'm going to help every business that I can. And my goal is to help as many businesses as possible so they can purposely not waste their money on bullshit. You want to go spend 20 grand on a billboard? Go for it. You want to spend, 100,000 on radio and TV ads, go for it. Guess what? You may not get what you want out of it, but I can assure you that what I do specifically gives you exactly what you want out of it.
And I can tell you firsthand, I'm hiring him, and I haven't even signed the contract yet.
Thank you.
And he's personally texting me all the time, all these things. Hey, that was a great post, reposting things for me. He's not even working with me yet, and he's already doing those things. So I'm just a regular dude, regular realtor. And he's texting me, he's personal with me, all these things. Well, and none of it feels fake.
Right,
so
and that's how I earn that's how I earn trust.
Absolutely.
Everyone I work with, I keep a personal relationship with, not just a bullshit business relationship. Hey, you owe me this. Hey, you owe me that. Hey, an invoice is coming. I don't give a shit. Sometimes people go, hey man, I forgot to pay you last week. And I'm like, that's fine. Just shoot me the payment when you can. So the way I do it is I like to get close with some of these people, but they also understand that this is business. That they tell me, they're like, man, you're pretty brash with a lot of the stuff you do. And I said, you know what? That's how we succeed. Yeah. You can't be the nice guy. If you want to be the nice guy, go somewhere else and do that. But you can be nice in a business way doing what I do. I'm nice at the fact that taking money from someone who wants to buy your shit or put it into what you're doing, and we'll make that connection. And that's what I do. That's how I deliver what I do, and that's what makes me different than everyone out there. That's why I have companies like, the teams from Pfizer calling me.
Yeah.
I mean, who am I? I'm nobody. I'm a former celebrity bodyguard out of federal prison, and I've got the companies
that's
like
somebody.
this calling me.
You obviously have a resume. I mean, that's
Something.
a good resume.
Yeah, but I don't have a piece of paper that I hang on the wall to remind me of what school I went to in case I forget.
That doesn't matter.
I
dude.
don't have that.
I have one of those, and it says the philosophy.
That took you far, Brett.
It turns out
Brought
being,
him right here.
It turns out being deep doesn't pay the bills.
No, it doesn't. You got to get out there and you got to do something. I mean, and I get approached by people all the time. I had a car dealership say, "Hey, man, we'll give you a vehicle." And I said, "For what?" And they said, "Do our marketing. We'll give you a brand new car." And then I had someone from Shelby Americana call me and say, "Hey, man,
Shelby, dude, give me a Shelby. I'll sell their house all day, every day, man."
Absolutely. So I've been fortunate enough, not as a company, but as an individual for people to approach. And again, back to your question, my foundation, I use that as leverage. Hey, man, if these people you are fans of, who are the biggest people on the planet, and trust me with their lives, I'm going to do the same thing for you. I'm going to protect your company. I'm going to get you the best that I can possibly get you.
Let's say this. So people always want to know like what's going on in Vegas is your pros and cons, right? I always say that.
Okay.
What's good about Las Vegas? What's bad about Las Vegas? What do you think is the best part for you about Las Vegas?
The businesses every day. There's always a new business, whether it's an axe throwing company opening or, an oxygen bar that people pay money to go to. I mean, every day this city has something amazing. I mean, you can spend weeks here and do.
That's what I always tell him. He's like, "How do you keep?" I'm like, "Because it's Las Vegas, and every day is a new day here, man.
Yeah,
anything's possible here. Every single day, it's Las Vegas."
Absolutely.
You go down to the Strip. You see these people that are doing those, gaming, not gaming, but they're gambling on the Strip where they have those things. There's people just invent things here.
Absolutely.
And it's just crazy and everybody makes money.
Yeah. You're right, man. Like, how many times I've drove around this town, looked over and been like, you could never do that in any other city.
Never. Think about this.
Make a living doing it.
You get drunk on the plane coming here, right? This is the one city you can come to. You can get drunk on the plane coming here, right? Not only can you do that, but you can land, you can drive to a store and grab a bag of weed legally, mind you, and then you can drive up the street and go rent a machine gun.
Yeah.
So, hold on. And then you can drive out a little bit and go to a brothel.
Yeah.
And it's all legal.
And then you can pay someone $10 to kick them in the balls.
Exactly. So there is no other city you can do this in.
Voila.
Hey, is that, thinking about the brothel thing, they just had that house sale recently. Somebody took over on that. So is that thing still out there?
What, in Pahrump?
Did you switch Did you switch the title of your name yet?
As far as what, Brett?
The whorehouse.
The chicken ranch.
Chicken ranch.
Chicken ranch, right? Yeah. But
no chickens there, brother.
You saw that, right? You saw that it was...
Yeah, it's still out there.
It's still out there.
There's 3 of them, I think, out there.
Wow.
Yeah, you have Sherry's, you have...
And is it far from here? Because I honestly, I've never...
So what's the
minute
layout of
drive.
each one of those?
Let me tell you. I can tell you about each room. No, I'm kidding. I don't.
Brenda's still there?
He's actually the one that bought the houses. He's invested.
Right?
So.
No, I'll invest in anything I can get my hands on.
Right?
Almost. If it works, it works.
What do you not like about Las Vegas? Like, what is one of the things you don't like about
the people
being
that
here?
are not from here?
Really?
Yeah, I absolutely wish that everyone that moved here would
So
move back to where they're
75% of the city, please leave.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, how about assimilation, right?
Right.
You move here, assimilate to the community.
No, I love it.
I agree with you on that one.
I meet a lot of people. I'm like, "Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from Vegas." I'm like, "Oh, really? I was born here too." And then the story changes. They're like, "Well, actually, I wasn't born here. I've been here since I was like 25." And I'm like, "Well, you're not from. Are you ashamed of where you're from?"
No, I'm.
And it's
Where you from? Wisco.
Yeah, right there you go.
Moved here in 2009.
I mean, you
moving
guys
back?
have the
No.
Packers, and you're proud of it. See,
Dude, Packers and beer and cheese. What's up?
So the cons here, though, to be honest, though, there's a lot of people that come here and it gives us a bad rap when it comes to, again, business. We get a lot of people that scam people here, a lot of hustlers, a lot of people like that. So it's very hard to find who is who and what can do what. The club industry is big here. The amount of people, because it's such a transient city.
Oh, yeah.
We get so many people coming here for a rodeo weekend, a concrete convention, SHOT Show.
Let's give an example. I saw online someone posted a receipt at a club from EDC last weekend
For almost $250,000.
$126,000.
Oh, that one?
was their
Saw a
bar
bigger one.
was their bar bill. $126,000 for a night of drinking at the club, dude.
I've been to
one of them was Red Bulls. They were paying $75 for a Red Bull.
Wow.
That's nuts.
And people pay that shit, dude.
Yeah. No, I've been to a few clubs where our bill has been $250, $300. And this is just a regular
Jesus.
weekend at a pool. And people will pay it. And you got to think a lot
Only
of the
in
times,
Vegas, man.
they'll fly you out and I wrote this in my book, is here in Vegas, they'll fly you a bottle of champagne out on a drone to your cabana at some of the beach clubs.
Just because
you're dropping 10, 20 grand for something like that. Just to
Dude,
be
because
by
you
the
want to be
world.
special.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a receipt that came out, EDC. I think they had like 100 and I think it was like 120,000.
That's what I just said.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I think it was at EDC, right?
Yeah, it was EDC. Like
That's
I said,
that's a big deal for
like,
EDC.
yeah, it was like a thing of Red Bulls, like 6 Red Bulls was what they bought in the pack, but it came out to like $75 per Red Bull. Just for the drink.
Probably
not
with the
even
bottle
like,
that it came with.
I hope.
I hope so
mean,
too.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of
unless
these, a lot
that
of
Red
these
Bull is
clubs,
laced with gold, I don't know. man.
They'll send you a bottle of vodka for like $500.
Yeah.
well, a lot of these clubs too,
Bet
they're
you can buy it
starting.
at the
They're
store for
saying
40.
Yeah.
cost, appreciation, cost increase.
Yeah.
they're starting to raise the prices on some of these drinks. There's $50 drinks. It's pretty normal now going to a club, right? I mean,
It is normal. It's like when you go out to like some of the clubs, right? For instance, the beach clubs, you'll spend $5,000 on a cabana, right? For what? Because you want people to see that.
Because
you're
if
this
not,
cool
you're
guy.
just another sausage in the room.
Exactly.
That's why.
It's marketing.
That's why.
I worked with Lil Wayne at a concert, and someone paid $25,000 to have the cabana closest to the stage, just because they wanted to be that
just
much
because
closer.
they want, yeah.
Not because they were going to meet him and hang out with him, just because they wanted to be
Ultimately,
that
they
close.
did because they could.
Yeah, because they could.
Period. And this is the town where people will.
And this is what Vegas is. People come
Yep.
here and they spend money, and this is what you have a good time. I
They
mean,
give
you come
themselves
here-
an excuse. Vegas.
Exactly.
When you can spend a week at one of the resort hotels,
Oh man.
it's like
I-
I mean, take a pick, and you can go through each one of them, and you can be here forever.
Most people can't last
I
a,
know.
a week. I mean, you know what I
Nah.
mean? They come here
Nah.
and like my buddies will come out here and I can hear it's like
Right.
spring break in their voice. Like, hey man, I'm coming to Vegas. Awesome.
I've met a lot of contacts that way too. I've been to a number of parties and conventions, and people are like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Well, I'm a former international arms dealer," and boom, they're like, "Do you have a card?" And I'm like, "Well, I do marketing now."
What a great tagline to introduce people. I'm serious.
That is good.
Because how do people you not get people's attention with that?
And then
of course you
and
do.
then they respond with like the movie War Dogs, and I'm like, well, kind of only I'm they were Jewish
Yeah.
also. I don't know what it is
Except
about us
I did
and
real
guns.
jail time.
But yeah, I did real fed
I didn't go
time.
home after the set.
No, real fed time.
all right, so we got to keep moving.
right.
So Ethan, I just want to say, man, you crushed it. You could stick around. We're gonna obviously
please,
promote
man.
your business here,
Absolutely.
and then if you have any input on the housing market questions, maybe some of your opinions, right? It's always valued. We'll talk about that. I want to bring up Brett. Brett wants to talk a little bit about what's happening in the housing market.
Oh, give me
and
one
update.
second.
So let's talk a little bit, Brett. So you said that you're seeing price reductions. You're seeing builders. Let's talk
I
about
tell you
that
what,
first.
man. The last 30 days, and kind of what I was saying before at the beginning of the show, which is I know I've kind of not talk smack, but all the buyers in the past year and a half, I'm like, I don't care what you say, the market's going up, it's not going down, blah, blah, blah. All these things I've been saying for the past year and a half, now is your turn to talk smack back to me. Because I would say in the last 30 days, the market has severely changed. The market that everybody has kind of been waiting for and wanted has occurred in the last 30 days, in my opinion.
How's it?
Well, number one, everything has come to a stop. There's nobody selling. There's nobody buying. I mean, there are a few, but the market has literally came to a stop.
Well, how many homes are on the MLS now?
So now that's another thing too. We've increased from 2 weeks ago, because I wasn't here last week. There were 2,916. I'm sorry. For total actives, there were 3,590. This week, there's 4,352.
Oh crap, we're about double.
So we're increased by 18%.
That's
Okay.
good.
Is that homes that are just finished being built that are just being put out there? Too?
Those are resales.
resales.
So I would have to say this too, which is for the past year and a half, you have to understand that some of these builders weren't even paying commissions for realtors.
That's bad.
And in the last 30 days, especially in the last 2 weeks, I've gotten more emails from builders than I have in the last 2 years combined saying, hey, we're offering 3% commission. We're offering $11,000, $12,000 for buyers' closing costs or buyers' incentives. I just did a home tour at DR Express in Sky Canyon in Sky Hills up by Sky Canyon, brand new single story. that's like 1,600 square feet. And furniture, all the upgrades, everything included, they had on the market for $490, no offers, and the sales agent basically was like, make us an offer.
Well, and
so I mean, you could probably come in on that thing, make them an offer for $450 and get it for $475 realistically. Plus, if you can close in 30 days, they're offering, I think, 4.8% financing versus the 5.5 right now.
So what kind
So they were not doing that for 2 years.
Go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead.
So what kind of standing inventory do they have then? Do you know about
So
what kind of
I
standing
have
inventory?
So I have a list of
Yeah.
all the ones that have dropped their price and are giving incentives this past week. So after the show, let Dan or I know, send us a message, and we'll send you off that list. But it's literally a ton of them.
Wow.
And they're offering incentives, they're offering full commissions, a whole bunch of things that they weren't doing. So not only are they dropping their price, but you can come in there and come even lower. I would say they're open to offers right now. They know it's coming. They know that the interest rates really put everyone to a standstill. So it really now is your chance to kind of squeeze it out on the lenders right now. I mean, on the
builders.
On the builders right now.
Yeah.
Resale, I mean, I just did 3 searches yesterday for 3 different buyers and 3 different price points. And I would say probably 7 out of 10 listings all have price drops. And I'm talking listed on the market 2 weeks, dropping 20 grand. Listed on the market 3 weeks, dropping 15. I mean, real drops.
What price point is that though? What price?
I mean, it was anywhere between 410 up to like 750.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
I mean, it's all over, man.
I'm seeing it from 500 to 900. We'll say you're seeing price drops. I feel we peaked.
We did.
Now that doesn't mean that the demand is not going to not be here.
Yeah.
We've peaked. I also feel that we've peaked a little bit on the interest rates for the time being. The Fed's coming out saying that they're not maybe going to raise the Fed's fund rate again, which they're going to see what's going to happen. We also saw long-term inflation has dropped a little bit. So I do feel that the economy has peaked here in Las Vegas, or just the housing market itself. And, when you talk about multiple offers and things like that going on, forced bidding, right? We talk about forced bidding.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
I don't see that
as
happening.
much.
And the reason why I say builders versus resale is because for resale, to go in and buy a resale right now, you're paying 20% more for the home than you were last year at this time for the interest rates, right? So if you bought a home in the last 2 or 3 years, with what you have in equity and what you have for the interest rate, I don't see too many sellers who have bought in the last 2 or 3 years having any motivation right now to sell or drop their price or put their home on the market, because why would you? Builders, on the other hand, have the inventory that they need to sell.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm saying we can squeeze the hell out of the builders right now. So let Dan and I know. We'll send you that list.
Yeah, because I mean, most people have been coming in. I don't know if it's been your experience or not, but most of the people are coming in cash.
Yes.
Last 2 years they've been coming in cash.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people coming in.
I personally have a whole list of buyers that are cash that have not bought in the last year and a half, because they have plenty of money and they just won't pay in a market that's going up like that with people overbuilding.
Well, you don't buy at the top, right?
Right. So right now, but they're buying right now from me, not because, well, they're doing it because they have money and they don't feel the market's going to drop 15 or 20% in value.
Right.
Because those people are still going to break even with what they got their interest rate on. Yeah. So, I mean, think about that. But they're knowing they just don't want to deal with the multiple offers. They just don't want to be like, hey, builder, we're releasing this 3 weeks from now at $560,000, and 3 weeks from now it's at $750,000. Or it's at $650,000. Like they just won't do it by principle. Now they will.
Here's my thing too. So the builders know that people we're in contract. There's a lot of people backing out.
Yes,
and it's because of interest rates. Because of this is not. We had a credit boom. We'll say back in 2002 to 2005, and it really contributed to our housing market. Getting a lot of inventory. Builders back then overbuilt homes.
Yeah.
Now they're not doing that.
Okay.
Yet
That
still,
was my question.
Yeah, still, and that's what I was saying. Is still what's happening in this market though is that the how fast rates went up, and
that's the thing.
This perfect storm of higher home prices, higher interest rates. It's now telling people, hey, you know what? I just got to back out. It's a perfect storm for people to leave the market. So you're seeing builders now. They're really going, okay, we have all these properties that are being built, and now they're in a position that they got to get rid of
because
this
it changed so quickly.
Right.
Like the market's going up until it's not anymore.
Right.
Right. And right now is that tilting point. We're at that tilting point right now. So I'm not going to sit here and say the market's going to go down 15 or 20%. And to be honest with you, even if it did, people who bought in the last year and a half are fine. Because, but what I am saying is that you're starting to see, especially builders, that everything changed so quickly, they need to get rid of it.
Well, no matter what the market is, there's always going to be buyers.
Yep,
always.
absolutely.
It's just it may be less, it may be farther and few between, but there's always, whether it's at the very top or the very bottom, what I've noticed is someone's always going to buy a house. If they want to buy it, they're going to buy it.
And most of the time it's a higher end houses. It doesn't affect the higher end people anyway.
So it's all about who's able to see these homes that are available.
Right.
And then we go back to marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now, so right now, what I'm seeing is that purchase applications have declined.
Yeah.
As a lender, what do you?
Well, that's not even lending. It's just purchase applications, not just as lending, but just people offering homes and doing things.
Yeah.
You see this declining as well.
Yeah.
Over across the board. Now, I just see that the economy is taking a step back, or people in the market are taking a step back. That doesn't mean they're not going to buy. They just need to see this thing. Yeah. Okay. Is this rate's going to start to come down again?
They just need to see what's being observed and what's going on.
Yeah, just waiting to see what's playing out. They want to. It's new. It's a drastic change. So people always want to wait a moment. And say, okay, let's see how this groove happens and where it's going.
I know the market's changed, and I can tell you one is a clear indication. I've been doing this long enough. When listing agents start emailing me, how'd the showing go?
You get that little
dude. I'm telling you, for 2 years,
yeah.
Half these agents, you would submit an offer and you wouldn't even get a response that you sent the offer, let alone asking about the feedback. And now, almost every showing I'm doing, I get from listing agent, how'd the showing go? I'm like, dude, market's turned.
No, 100%. So
that's true.
I think when he's asking this question, so has the market peaked? I think it's peaked, but I also feel like it's going to continue to go up. We say this all the time. There's just not enough data out there.
I don't think it's going to go up. I think it's going to be stagnant.
We're actually at a time in history that we've never been here. I mean, if you look at the inflation rate, you look at the interest rate, you look at the
we've
CPI,
never had a market
just going
with stocks and homes continue for 12 years straight.
No.
For 12 years straight, dude, it's continued upwards. And that's what I'm saying. Everything goes up until it doesn't.
And everything
anymore.
follows the curve from the NASDAQ, the Dow, the OTC, the Bitcoin, the crypto. I mean, it's all following the same stuff. So, I mean, it's,
Let's do this, guys.
Uh-oh. Well, he just threw that in now. We're big, dude. We're big. We're the podcast of the stars now.
Let's go over here to the browser here. I want to bring this up. So, guys, we have this chart up here, and I want to bring this up to you guys because what's happening is you can put in your own zip code. I'm going to put in Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you guys have a zip code out there.
Take away the zip code first.
Yeah, if you guys have a zip code out there that you guys want us to take a look at, I'm going to show you why this is important. Because this is all of Las Vegas. So let's put in Las Vegas, Nevada here. And let's view the report. So this is the high. You can see this right here. This is where it's still a seller's market. Look at this needle. Look at the price point you have right here. Right? This is the average price point for all of Las Vegas. That's not Summerlin.
Yeah, but that thing was at like 99% before.
Oh, I know.
For the past year.
So it's starting to come back. So, yeah, it's still a seller's market, but we're starting to see things. Let's put in 89044 because Ver wants to see 89044. Yeah, so let's see this real quick. And
Anderson, I'm showing homes there today.
Let's take a look. So this is, I'm sure this is Ver's stomping grounds over here where where his house is at. So take a look at this. You got a median price point over there of 412,000.
Price per square foot.
Per square foot, excuse me, is 276. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. So that
is really good, man.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So look at that, and then look at this graph. You can see
there you go, man.
Look at that's the equity he's built because he got into a house that was a new home.
Ver, I need a loan.
Ver. What other zip codes? Where do you live
at? Buy more Bitcoin, Ver.
Doug, where do you live?
89074.
89074. Let's take a look at that's in Henderson as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 89074. Let's take a look at this really quick. Check this report out. So this is where you're at. Cost per square foot.
You're a little less of a seller's market, brah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
See, look at that needle.
Well,
you're about 10% lower.
Yeah, and the thing is, over at the Legacy, we don't have we get a report.
Yeah.
And there's no homes for sale.
Look at that.
In the
it's
report.
changing, man. You might want to put your house on the market. I can help you sell that.
Hey, put in 89081.
89081.
Yeah, I was most recently living on Shadow Creek Golf Course over there.
Oh, nice.
And low C. I wonder what that pops up as.
Let's take a look, man.
It is North Vegas though, so it might be pretty.
89081. Let's take a
Oh,
look.
look at that.
See, look at that, man.
Look at that, dude.
Wait, the lower the
That
number, the better, right?
Dude,
It's
you're
like
you're
golf?
about ready to go into a buyer's market, man.
Yeah, you are.
That zip
You're
code.
about right across. You are.
That zip code is there. That's
good.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
Nice.
You're about ready across. No, you got to wait. You got to go down to that 30 indicator for a buyer's market.
So
But
so
you're
look,
getting down there,
30.
man.
price per square foot over there is what, 237?
Yeah.
Okay, so we saw Henderson. Let's look at Summerlin. Everybody wants to know where's that price difference, right?
That's going to be higher. I'm betting.
No,
Yeah,
do
much
do
higher.
89138.
138.
That's where all the new is.
That's where all the new is at. So let's do that. I was going to do 4, so let's do this. Wow, that's
There
not
you go.
bad though.
350.
350, but look at that's still not a sell. That's like almost turning into a buyer's market right there.
That's the 349 a square is because you're including the older homes from 2006, 2007. The new ones are way higher than that.
But look at this graph here. Look at this.
Yeah, dude,
almost
look-
straight
look-
up.
look at February-
Look at that. Summerlin just went just crazy right there.
Dude, this year.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
That's because
Yeah.
all the Californians have moved in.
Yeah.
And that's,
they want
listen,
Summerlin.
everybody always asks, why Summerlin? Why Summerlin? Well, I mean, look, you're going to pay a premium, but it seemed like everybody's willing to pay that premium.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what
do
you
you like
like, man?
Summerlin?
I lived there a long time ago. I used to live just west of Rampart on Lake Mead.
Before they had what they have there now.
Yeah.
The ballpark and
Oh, yeah.
downtown Summerlin.
I was over there back in 08, 09 when that thing just took a dip.
It was dipping.
Oh, yeah. It was nice.
Yeah.
150
Well,
for
and
a
it's-
house out
Yeah,
there?
I know.
That was beautiful.
It's crazy. Summerlin.
Summerlin used to just go right to what was it, Durango? Or,
yeah, it used to end right there. It was all dirt. Now
That
it
was-
goes all the way to the mountain.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy.
There was a long ways to go,
there
man.
was no
Howard
Red
Hughes
Rock,
Corporation
There was no
is-
Bears Best. There was no.
There was none of that.
Yeah.
I want to say this too. If you guys have a zip code out there, get a hold of me. You can check out my website, LV Home Professionals. Also, get a hold of me outside the show. We'll give you guys a full report on your zip code and all the information. If you guys want to see if you guys are turning into a buyer's market or is it still a seller's market, kind of what your cost per square foot would be.
If
That
anything,
way-
it's free info, man.
Free info.
Keep informed of what's going on in your neighborhood.
Yeah, get a hold of me because we'll definitely send that out. I'll have somebody on my team send it out. So let's go over here. We're going to talk to Doug. And guys, if you guys have any other questions on what's happening in the real estate market, we will definitely help you guys out and get you all the right information. So I want to bring up Doug here. Let's check out 89117. I got to check that out real quick before we get to
That's
Doug.
another good.
117?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
another
I
good
got
Lakes.
I got to do that real quick. That's the Lakes because
It's down in the southwest.
yeah,
I
man,
have a
we
buyer
gotta
there,
we
right
gotta
off of Summerlin.
we got to definitely see what's going on with these people out there because they want to see what's happening in their markets.
Wow, seller's market there.
Look at that.
Yeah, I have a buyer looking in there, and I can say it is.
That's
It's a
that's where
seller's
most of my
market.
inspections have been actually for the last couple
Yeah.
of weeks.
That's
Dude,
what,
that-
that zip code?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm talking like homes on the water.
Southwest. And
There's
then-
nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
So where's that location at right there? 89117. Just kind of
That's right off of Wallapai and
you could say it too,
Sahara?
Doug.
Well, you got
Wallapai and
you got
Sahara?
Spring Mountain. You got you've got Durango.
it's
you've got,
right by Durango and Sahara.
Wow.
Do you know where? What's
Yeah, I know where
what's
it's
that,
at.
What's
Like
that gated golf
Section
course
10,
in there?
Section 10.
Yeah, right by Section 10.
By
Yeah.
vintage, that's vintage area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
Vintage
somewhat.
is a little
So-
further.
yeah, it's Buffalo.
East.
So,
maybe.
so there you go. And I wanted us to bring this up. So if you guys have any other zip codes, like I said, give me a call after the show, text me, email me. We'll get you guys all the information on any property or also any zip code that you guys, if you guys are living in a zip code and you want to know if you should sell, hey, we'll give you the information.
Or if you
Say-
just want information just to keep informed of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, always stay informed.
All right, let's move over. I got to get Doug in here. Big Doug over here. What's going on, buddy? So let's
What's
talk
happening?
about pools, man. So you're saying that you're so Doug's an inspector. You see a lot of information out there on pools and how they have problems and potentially have problems. So tell us what's going on with that side
Yeah,
of it.
we well, just since the season's starting up, and you know, a lot of people moving in, they wanted to come to Vegas, they wanted to buy a house with a pool, you know, and there's some responsibilities to go along with that as well. And one of the things I wanted to bring up is that a pool is always, just remember, pools always work every day after work. After when I come home, I'm sweeping the pool.
You're sweeping the pool.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. So like that's the same thing. I have a pond, right? Like a pond for
koi pond.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it's just like when
you don't have to sweep that.
Well, you don't have to sweep it, but like I always think like, is there a net or something that you could put in front of that or on top of that so you can keep all the leaves and stuff off? I mean,
yeah,
not really, right?
Well, the more organic you get in there, the better the fish like it, right? So. But no, I mean, it's just you have a pool sweeper, you have a you have your pump, you have your skimmer and all that stuff that it takes care of the pool for you. But then there's always that. You got to sweep it too.
We have those winds out here that blow everything into your pool.
Every day, right?
People don't,
everything.
That's one thing.
It hasn't been blowing as bad as it has in the past, but it's starting to get there.
Yeah, that winds though. That's it makes it hard. I think you come home and there's leaves in your pool. The neighbor's trampoline is in your pool. I mean, it doesn't end.
Yeah, your chairs.
I remember when I first moved out here. I looked down like a deserted street, and I saw that tumbleweed.
Yeah,
rolling down. I felt like
it's like out of a movie.
Energy here. Yeah, I was like, I'm in Vegas.
That's one thing I thought people would say more is that the wind, because everybody's like, well,
it's nuts.
It's nuts. I mean, I'm not saying it's like the windy city, Chicago, but I'm saying it's still windy. Like I feel like
dude, it's a lot windier here than it is Chicago. I'm from,
yeah, is it?
It is, dude. I mean, Chicago does get windy. Don't get me wrong, but it's right off the lake, so when you get wind, it's super strong.
Well, it's been
here,
so windy.
So frequent.
A few years back, there was ripping billboards off downtown, and a FedEx truck flipped over on the 215 because it was so windy. I mean, it blew the 18-wheeler over.
It has its own openness here. Once it gets through those mountains, there's nothing stopping it.
No,
man.
it's bad.
So let's talk a little bit more. So the pool side of it.
Okay, so pool side of it, just a few things on the pool. One, if you don't have a pool, there's some considerations to make. If you're going to dig for a pool, you want to make sure that you're not sitting on caliche. Caliche is like this hard soil material. It's a conglomerate.
That's why they don't
of
dig
rocks
basements
and
here.
calcium. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not breaking through that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so there's some considerations there. There's if you're up in the like say the Anthem area, you're looking at bedrock in some cases. You know, so there's some considerations for building a pool. Once you have the pool, if you're in the pool, there's a couple safety considerations, especially if you have kids. One, make sure you have some kind of alarm on your sliding patio door, and especially if the kids, if they're younger kids or whatever, but have some kind of alarm on the door just so you know that anybody's going in and out. And then also when you have some people put a gate around their pool. It's a net gate.
Yes. I have somebody that actually is buying a house now, and it brings that up. It actually helps with the insurance, right?
It does. It helps with the insurance. That like one of those net gates around the pool, and then also make sure that you have the gate that goes into your backyard is self-closing, self-latching, screened, self-closing, self-latching. Those are some pretty important safety factors. And then as far as the pool itself goes, you can get into all sorts of different elaborate, shapes and sizes and types and all that stuff. But, just for a standard pool, you'll have one pool pump, you'll have one, maybe a heater, maybe a gas heater. You'll have your cartridge filter.
The question I have though is like a lot of people, they have like they don't really know to look for these things, and that's why you get an inspector. But like, when do you know like you need to resurface the pool? When do you know like okay, because there's a lot of things that come to a pool as far as keeping it updated and keeping it clean and maintaining it. Because I look at some of these houses, the pool equipment you can tell it's just all shoddy and things
end of its life.
Yeah, it's close.
So when your equipment stock, the thing I was going to bring up earlier is that you have the equipment on the side of the house. You want to check that periodically. You want to check for leaks. You want to clean your filters. Check your pump.
So how often should you have your pool equipment serviced?
Serviced.
Or just check, like you're saying, like just have someone professionally come through and make sure.
I go every week just to see if I got any issues.
Well, someone who's not saying an inspector, and it would cost some money.
Well, you can do, and see that's the thing is, I mean, you can, even if you're not an inspector, you just go around that side of the house and you look to see if you got any leaks, anything going on, any corrosion on the pump or whatever.
Due diligence
but
goes a long ways.
as far as maintenance goes on your, like say your filters are your biggest maintenance things.
Okay.
So about every 3 to 6 months you have your filters cleaned. and about every 2 to 3 years you'll have them changed out.
Okay.
So what happens is when they clean them, the openings get bigger and bigger in the filters the longer you use them, and then the more dirt goes through them, and then it goes back into the pool.
Okay.
And we never had none of that safety stuff growing up. It was just your best bet was like if you were in the pool as a kid, you hoped that someone who had their beer in their hand didn't want to spill it,
right?
And would jump in and grab
Growing
you.
up, we didn't have seatbelts, man.
No, there was
Lead-based
we
paint.
didn't wear them.
Yeah.
No seatbelt.
Yeah.
all the safety
too
stuff
much.
with the pools. Every time I see a pool, I'm not gonna lie. When I look for a new home and I see that fence around it, the first thing in my mind is like, man, I got to rip that out.
Yeah, I know. Most people are like that.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's an eyesore. But I guess if you have kids, I mean, and they don't know how to swim.
And then it's the other thing is you take responsibility for your kids and you teach them how to swim. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay.
Ideally,
Now we're getting too far, taking responsibility for our own kids. That's not a thing
You
anymore.
got to pay attention to them, then, man.
You do, man. You can't.
That trend
That's
is
what this
gone.
trip's for. To raise those some bitches.
Right. Well, that's the first thing. Yeah, I mean, when we had a pool, that was the first thing. My wife was in the pool with them every day.
Yeah.
Dude, it's pool season right now too, and people are going to
It is.
really start to
It
like
is.
look at
and,
that.
And I guarantee you, there'll be dead kids by the end of the summer. There'll be.
Oh,
dead
I don't want to hear that. I can't
but
hear
there
that.
will because.
All right, well, it's been a great show today. So thanks for watching, everyone.
It ends on dead kids, huh?
Wait a second.
No,
We're away
but I
from-
mean, it happens every year.
But
Yeah,
then people
no, it does.
also
It
people
absolutely
move here
does.
in the summer and then they go, oh, it's June, it's 85, 90 degrees. I'm like, no, it's not. It's way hotter. And they're like, well, I got to get a pool. I'm like, you're not going to get a pool right now.
Yeah.
Not in June. You're
No,
not
I
getting
get
a
a
pool.
pool.
It's not going to happen.
No, the reality.
So go order one in
got you.
November, December when you get the best price because it's winter.
Yeah.
And then wait for the 6 months for them to build it. Or
But
3
a
months.
lot of people
Even-
that come here
even
don't
still-
realize
I
it
know.
until it's summertime and then it's too late and they're like, I got to get a pool.
It's not like a blow up where you just inflate it.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Even still, last winter they were on back order like
Yeah,
nobody's
of
business.
course.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
the reality is, those there will be some casualties, unfortunately. Like you said, and
Unfortunately, it's not like
unfortunate,
something we look.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something that it happens. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is, and
it's part of swimming.
Yeah, and it's
But having
Basically.
a net, having things like that, and you know what I mean, that does help a lot, right? I mean, because it
Oh,
keeps
yeah.
everything out, and
Yeah.
you know, you got to get into the gate. You keep your dogs, your animals out. So I think something like that, if you have a pool,
Yeah.
it's especially with kids.
I've noticed a trend lately, and I've been to a lot of my friends' houses, and I noticed from me growing up to now, we used to have big, giant 10, 12-foot deep pools in some people's yards, and now most people are getting these like things that are just 4 feet, 4.5 feet, just to relax in with
Yeah.
everybody and
Yeah.
kind of lean on the edge and just, they're
well,
not deep
the
anymore.
interesting
allowed to
thing
have
about back
diving
then
boards anymore.
was that everybody had diving boards, right?
Yeah, there
so
you go.
then they had problems with diving boards. People would dive in, and the funny thing was, as I see, because I still do the inspections on some of these homes that have the deep end pools, and but they had the diving board. They had the diving board sitting on the deep end, going towards the shallow end, and the pool kind of comes. It goes deep and then it goes shallow, and you're diving into the shallow
Right.
end. You know, it's
Right.
like
It didn't make sense.
no, you should have had the diving board at the more towards the shallow end,
Right.
diving into the deep end. So I see that, and I'm like,
So Doug, let me say this: what
why
are some
the
of the
design-
key points that people can get from being a pool inspector, like taking away from this before we end the show?
well, okay. So one is it's maintenance, it's work, it's constant work to keep the pool clean. It's not just something that you want to do. If you don't do it yourself, then it's going to probably cost you about $130, $140 a month.
That's
to
not
have-
bad.
No.
To have someone regularly come out,
Yeah,
that's worth it.
once a week, right?
Because if you don't, and part of your pool breaks, that's going to cost you an insane amount of money, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And then they check the filters. They make sure everything's running the way timers are scheduled and all that other stuff. So, yeah. So I mean, it's kind of like let's see what else.
That's about it.
That's about it, I think. Yeah.
Well, let's do this, guys. So if you guys need
safety first.
we got to end the
that's
show.
a big
Yeah,
thing.
we got to end the show. We'll talk
Yeah.
a little bit more about
Okay.
it. Doug's a great guy as far as doing. If you guys need somebody out there that's a home inspector, get a hold of Doug. Also, we're going to end the show. You guys have any last words, Brett? I know you're really trying to get out of here. You got some people to see. Anything else?
No, man.
Great show, Brett.
Great show, Dan.
Crypto guy. Talk it
yeah.
one more time. What are you? Certified what?
Oh, certified a bunch of things. You want to do anything crypto, give me a call.
Doug, you got any last words, man?
Vegas crypto agent. on Instagram.
Give me a call if you have any questions about homes, home inspections. Been doing it for about like the last 20 years, so I've seen a lot of them. So give me a call.
And Ethan, you crushed it today, man. Thanks for coming on. You did a great
Definitely,
job,
guys. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, man.
Is
Appreciate
there
you
anything
coming
you
on.
want to plug? Getting out here, so somebody get a hold of you somehow?
Absolutely. If you have a business, I don't care who you are, get someone who is going to believe in it as much as you do. Your marketing is the biggest key. So if you want to be successful with your business, get someone who is going to get behind you and not just do some other shit for you. So guys, that's all I got.
I love it, man.
Cool,
you guys,
man.
thank you so
Awesome.
much. Most real and behind the scenes information. Subscribe, like the channel. We love your support. You guys, will see you guys on Tuesday. We have a great show. Another person coming in, another guest. You guys have a good weekend. Thank you for watching the French Workbench Podcast. You can find us here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. to find out all the information on real estate and financing here in Las Vegas. Also, check us out on our LV Home Professionals website. You can find your future home there, a lot of good information, and you can find us on audio-only options.